Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. I just filmed the Platinum Bronze swatch and demo video comparing these shades with several others from Pat McGrath's Mothership collection. If you want to see that video, please click up above or down below. I wanted to come back on here and do comparison swatches between Bronze Ambition and Sunset Palette. In my first Pat McGrath spring launch mini video, I compared Subversive Lave Rose with Natasha's Lila palette because I thought the colors very much looked like each other. And I figured, why not? Because one of you had suggested that I do comparison swatches between Sublime and Sunset. Quickly looking over both palettes, you can see Bronze Ambition is a very edited version of Sunset. Bronze Ambition only has one matte shade, and I feel perhaps the warmest out of, well, here's the thing. Like, this is supposed to be a matte shade, but it doesn't look the same as this one. I think because of what's in the formula. But quickly, what happened to the card? Oh, there it is. I'm going to swatch Sinai and also Volcano. Sinai is this one, Volcano here, next to Throwing Shade. I'll do Throwing Shade first. I mean, this is a gorgeous color. Sinai from Sunset. Definitely more orange in tone. And then let's go in with Volcano. Volcano probably closely matches this one better than Sinai, but it's deeper in tone. I'll also swatch Terra. This shade here, I think maybe be a better match for Throwing Shade. Oh, that definitely looks more red next to Throwing Shade. That makes Throwing Shade look brown. Interesting. For funsies, I couldn't help myself. I picked up her limited edition holiday palettes. I used both and I love them. I don't know why I was denying myself these palettes. If you want to see demos of Aries, I think this is the one. Yes, Aries. And also Joya, I think the other one is called. Let me know down below. I'm going to take the one matte shade in this quintet. Is that the word to use? Burnt Terracotta. Ooh. Next to, well, Throwing Shade is way over here, but Burnt Terracotta, definitely the more orange out of the bunch. Even more orange than Sinai. I'm going to swatch Sinai again. I feel like I didn't get in there. That's better. Sinai, I feel, is a different shade altogether. It's an orange shade, although it's a matte one. But next to Throwing Shade, it's definitely more orange than brown. The other shades I want to swatch from Bronze Ambition, I want to go in with Gold, Guilt Trip, and Gold Rush. Here's Guilt Trip from Bronze Ambition. Oh my god. That shade, I cannot get over that shade. From the Sunset palette, I think I'll go in with Obeyed and Sundazed. These right here. Here's Obeyed. Oh, wait a minute. Those look very well. Obeyed has, looking here closely, Obeyed has more of a rose gold type of finish. If you see the pinkier undertone here versus Guilt Trip next to it. Sundays is the other gold shade from the Sunset palette, which I think takes on a more golden hue. Ooh. Well, that's pretty. Why not? Then from Bronze Ambition, I'll go in with Gold Rush. My bad. This is Gold Rush. Now I'll go in with Guilt Trip, which is the lighter out of the bunch. This shade is so creamy. Ooh, that's definitely more champagne than gold. I don't know if there's a shade in here that relates to Guilt Trip in terms of the champagne-y undertone of it, because a lot of these shades are more rose gold, orange, yellow in hue. Maybe just for fun, I'll swatch the one on the end, Bronze Age. This one here. Yes. Yeah, man, that definitely is just another shade altogether. I don't want to forget, I want to go in Decadence and swatch Gold Standard, which I feel is just pure gold, where the shades from Bronze Ambition are more bronze Z. Oh yeah. You can just tell from the yellow undertone how it's a different shade altogether compared to the ones, not only from Natasha Denona, but from Bronze Ambition. This one being Gold Rush and this one being Guilt Trip, I believe. The other shade that might kind of closely relate to those in Bronze Ambition is Sinful, still from Decadence. This shade here, Decadence. That has a more silvery undertone to it. These definitely remain bronzy and gold. Alright friends, that is a swatch comparison of the Sunset palette and Bronze Ambition. Pause. As I was editing the footage, I realized that I didn't swatch all the colors. It annoyed me. I only swatched Guilt Trip and Gold Rush. Didn't bother going, maybe I did this one. I didn't do Illicit and Copperized. And I was looking at the Sunset palette and I thought, there's a similar color to Copperized in here. I thought, yes, like this one here, it's a duochrome shade, is not the same, but I thought I would swatch them anyway. So this is a continuation and I thought I would demo both palettes, one on each eye, and I'm fully committed because I'm going out after this with 2 different eye looks. It's fine. First, I'll swatch Bronze Struck from Bronze Ambition. I think this is such a beautifully rich shade. Gorgeous. I don't think Natasha's palette has a true, well, maybe this shade could count as her bronze. Oh, maybe this one too. I'll swatch these 2, the ones at the very end. And the last one is appropriately named Bronze Age. I think I swatched that in the last bit of footage, but I'll do Bronze Age as well as Atmosphere. So this is Bronze Age. I mean, warmer, much warmer than Pat's Bronze. And Atmosphere, which is at the other end of the palette from Sunset, which is just more like a pinky red tone. I have to say that's the primary difference I see from between both palettes, is that Pat's Bronze Ambition has like the bronze shade, like BC bronze metal. For Illicit in Bronze Ambition has some sparkle in it, even though I use it as a blending shade. I'll swatch Illicit next to these guys. I think it's a beautiful brown color, very deep, almost like it could take on just a touch of purple, I feel. Definitely neutral cool on the spectrum. From Denona, I feel the only mattes that closely relate to this shade are Volcano and Ignis. I can never say that word. Volcano and Ignis. I'm gonna swatch Ignis first because I feel it closely relates to the shade. So that's what that looks like. This definitely looks a little, or maybe that's the one that looks more purple? I can't tell. I feel this is more like a true deep chocolate brown. Volcano right off the bat looks like it has more red in it. For sure. Just for some perspective, I know I swatched this earlier in the video. I'll do Throwing Shade quickly next to Volcano. Definitely more, it's just lighter in tone for sure. Lastly, Copperized. Yes, Copperized from Bronze Ambition. Quickly looking at Sunset. Like I said, the one down here named Morgana, which looks like it's a duochrome shade. And I could also swatch, Horizon, as well as I mean, this is just orange, but I'll swatch it anyway. That is Mandarin. Here's Copper Eyes from Bronze Ambition. Oh, gorgeous. Going in with Morgana from Sunset Palette. Oh, maybe they are a little similar. I think Morgana has a little more, it's a little more red, but they closely relate. And maybe it wasn't as duochromy as I thought it looked in the pan. I still feel that it reflects gold. Horizon from Sunset. More orange. Lastly, Mandarin, which I think is just a beautiful, like, sunshine shade. Alright, we successfully swatched all the shades from Bronze Ambition compared to some from Sunset. Again, right off the bat, the one difference is that, well, I feel that Sunset palette just didn't have a bronze cool like this. Even though the majority of the shade range is warm, this bronze is a very cool bronze. I think it's beautiful, and from Sunset, a lot of the bronzes that are named bronzes just have a little more warmth to them, that rose gold kind of feel to them. If you want to see a more extensive breakdown for the Sunset palette, I'll link that video up above and down below. I also demoed using Bronze Ambition in the first Bronze Ambition video. If you're looking to see the difference in terms of how they look on the eyes, then stay tuned. Oh, before I forget, I'm wearing Cappuccino today from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Bronzer collection. Definitely deeper in tone. I feel it looks a little, even though it's supposed to be like a deep golden brown, it shows up a little, not, is red the right color? It's hard to see, hard to tell. I have the mirror here. Maybe because of the blush I applied, I did the Peach Trio from Anastasia as well. I feel like it doesn't look too red. I don't know. Still have my bake on just in case there's any emergencies. Alright, Bronze Ambition is easy. I'm just gonna start with throwing shade. I'm taking a smaller brush and deepening, throwing shade on my outer corner, because since this is the only matte shade from Bronze Ambition, I'm using it to create dimension on my lid. I'm also taking that same shade with a smaller brush to the inner corner. Should I have done that? I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna stick with that. This always, let me see here, I gotta blend. There we go. Better. You gotta have two similar brushes. I'm now going in with Terra, this shade here, which I think closely relates to throwing shade. Well, that's a lot redder. Never mind. It looks brown in the pan, but when I apply it, it definitely looks more red. I went a little nuts on this side with now, I'm gonna take the yellow shade to kind of blend it out a bit better. Well, this just got interesting. I think I might take Volcano just to deepen Terra, because this is so bright compared to Throwing Shade. Throwing Shade could stand alone as like a beige transition shade, even though it's very warm in comparison to all of Pat's mattes. I was gonna say Matt's mattes. Maybe this would kind of tone it down. Alright, that's turning out a little better. It kind of brought it down, grounding it a bit. What I should have done probably is just applied Volcano, and that would have been a closer match to throwing shade. But if you have Sunset, like, because you have a lot more matte options, you probably will use the more red or orange tones first as your transition color, and then use the deeper mattes to create contrast. First time I filmed with Bronze Ambition, I didn't use Copper Eyes all over my lid, and I feel today is the perfect opportunity, considering that we are so red on this side, that maybe it will even out a little bit. I'm taking my Luxie Precision Shader. I know, how dare I not use a Wayne Gauss shader. It's a bigger head, and I feel it'll cover a little more, more surface faster, because, you know, mama gotta go. Oh, that's pretty. I'm going to wet the brush as well. I think I want to take Illicit to the outer corner. I'm going to take this shade. I know we already applied Copper Eyes, but I just want to add a little more depth here to my outer corner. I mean, ideally I would have done this first, because now it's picking up the texture of Copper Eyes, and not that this is hard to blend, but it would have been a smoother application if I would have just applied after throwing shade. But it's all good, man. You know, we're experimenting. I should say it's still not bad considering the flub, right? It still looks fairly smooth and gradient. Okay. I'm taking my Zoeva Smoky Shader in 234 with Copper Eyes from Bronze Ambition and running that along the lower lash line on this eye. I think I want to take, what is this, Guilt Trip, the gold shade in Pat's palette, now with my Wayne shader, because it's smaller and I feel it better suited for the inner portion of my lid. I'm going to take this shade here and place that right over Copper Eyes on my inner third. I know I'm dipping out. I've been using my Starlit palette a lot from Makeup Forever, and I love to just punch some of these topper shades on the lid when I'm done with the shimmer and foil shades. I think I want to do Flame. I feel that will pair really nicely with what we have on this eye. I'm just taking it with my finger and dabbing it on top of Copper Eyes. And I think it just gives a really nice sparkle effect as a finisher. It just brings in that extra pop of glitter effortlessly. I just use my fingers. I'm also putting it here on the bottom because I've been doing that a lot. I love doing this on my lower lash line. Quickly to finish our sunset eye, I think for the lid, you got copper going on. I feel that maybe we should do one of the like bronzy gold shades. Why not? Take a bod. I really should use my finger, but I'll start with the shader brush first. Because see, with the brush, it just doesn't lay on enough product. That's better. I'm just making sure Volcano stays in the picture. I think that's gorgeous. I keep forgetting how Sunset palette is like still legit. Okay, I want to take the lighter gold shade from Sunset called Sundazed, this shade right here, with my pinky just to the lower lash line. Oh, that was the wrong eye. I know it's gonna mess up. And let's see what we have from Starlit to match up with this. Probably Spark will be the closest shade match to kind of like top off Sundazed. Oh, that's pretty. I know it doesn't look a lot on camera, but it definitely made the sparkle, it went up in ranks. The sparkle went up in ranks. Just carefully smoothing this out, because in person it looks fine, but when I'm sitting in front of the window and the sunlight is hitting, it tells you, it will show your mistakes, your errors. But it's all good, man, you know. As long as the errors are not seen in person in real life, it's fine. What shall we do for the inner corner? Well, I will, from Bronze Ambition, use Guilt Trip, this shade here. I'll put it on my pinky and pop it right onto the inner corner. Oh, such a beautiful shade. Denona, I think I don't know. I feel like I might as well just use Sundazed because this is just way too light. It's just way too light. I'm not even gonna mess with that. Sundays definitely has a lot more. Well, they're two different colors altogether, but this definitely shows more gold and this shows more like champagne. And I believe some of these shades are pressed pigments from Natasha's palette, which have a different finish and effect on the eyelid than the ones from Bronze Ambition, I feel. Alright friends, I'm just going to pop on some mascara and I'll be right back. We have our finished looks and I feel from swatching all the shades as I was supposed to do and demoing from each palette, I find that just from the names alone speak volumes on the purpose of each color scheme, right? Bronze Ambition, although very warm compared to Pat's other Mothership palettes, still like more neutral than Sunset. Sunset, oranges, reds, yellows, speaking from the whole sun color scheme, right? I feel it's just gonna have more of that gold orange feel than Bronze Ambition. Bronze Ambition, although with copper eyes, kind of makes it a little more warm, is definitely still not as warm as Sunset. And even if I would have just skipped the Terra shade and went in with Volcano to better match throwing shade, I mean, with the yellow and the red in here, you can make it even warmer. And because Pat's bronze shade is a true bronze, that's the only shade I found didn't live in the Sunset palette, because the bronzy shades from here still were not as bronze as the ones from Ambition. And I think that's again the primary difference. They both yield beautiful eye looks. I mean, I've used Sunset palette several times and each time again I'm reminded at the quality and just the beautiful layout of Sunset palette. It just blows my mind. But I love Bronze Ambition too. I have to say the difference between like the shades, that Natasha definitely has more of like a pressed pigment type of experience with her palette, is a lot looser. That's why she always recommends that you apply with your fingers. I feel with Pat you could get away more with using your shader brush with the shades like Guilt Trip and Gold Rush. That these do really well on a brush and some of Natasha's don't as well, and you'll definitely have to use your finger for those shades. I hope this video helped you guys. If you want to see any more comparison videos, I would love to do them. I'm sorry I didn't have time. One of you has suggested to do Colored Rain, which I'm like, duh. So next time I'm on here, I'll make sure to swatch some of Colored Rain's palettes because she does have a very cute palette that I think, like one of you had said, I'll post your name here, closely relates to La Vie en Rose. Maybe we could do a swatch comparison video of that and do some demos. You know, we'll do the whole thing. Thank you friends so much for watching. I hope this video helped. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. And until then, I'll see you on here again with another Chit Chat Get Ready With Me tutorial comparison vid. Thank you so much, and I'll see you again soon.